Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between silver mountains and an endless sea, there lived a princess named Alara. She was not the kind of princess who spent her days trying on gowns or practicing perfect curtsies. Alara preferred the castle's highest tower, where the night sky stretched wide and clear. Every evening she would lean out the window and whisper secrets to the stars. The stars, she was certain, whispered back. Her father, King Aldrich, was a kind but practical man. He believed stars were simply distant fires and that princesses should prepare for the day they would rule. Her mother, Queen Leora, had once been a sky watcher too, but she had passed away when Alara was only 7. Since then, the king had grown quieter, and the castle had grown colder. On the night of Alara's 16th birthday, something extraordinary happened. The largest star in the northern sky, called the Heart of the Heavens, began to pulse with a soft blue light. Alara leaned farther out the window, her dark hair spilling over the stone sill. "I hear you," she whispered. A voice, gentle as wind through pine needles, answered inside her mind. "Princess of the earth and sky, the balance is breaking. Come to the Whispering Woods before the next full moon, or the light will fade forever." Alara's heart pounded. She waited for the voice to speak again, but the star only shimmered once more and grew still. The next morning she went straight to her father. "I must go to the Whispering Woods," she said. "The stars have asked me." King Aldrich set down his quill and looked at her with tired eyes. "Alara, the Whispering Woods are forbidden. No one who enters returns the same, if they return at all. You are a princess, not a wanderer of wild places." "I am both," she answered softly. But the king would not listen. He ordered the tower windows locked at night and doubled the guards outside her chambers. Alara waited until the castle slept, then slipped out through a forgotten servant's passage her mother had once shown her. She carried only a small satchel with bread, a water skin, her mother's old silver pendant, and a cloak the color of midnight. The Whispering Woods began just beyond the kingdom's eastern border. As soon as Alara stepped beneath the first ancient trees, the air changed. It smelled of moss, rain, and something older, like forgotten stories. The leaves above her murmured in a language just beyond understanding. She walked for hours. The path twisted and turned, yet somehow she never felt lost. Fireflies lit her way like tiny lanterns. At last she reached a clearing where a great stone circle stood, overgrown with glowing blue flowers. In the center of the circle floated a single feather made of pure starlight. When Alara reached for it, the ground trembled. From the shadows stepped a creature of living shadow and silver light, a guardian spirit in the shape of a great stag with antlers that branched like constellations. "You heard the call," the stag said, its voice deep and echoing. "Few still can." "I am Princess Alara," she answered, trying to keep her voice steady. "The heart of the heavens spoke to me. It said the balance is breaking." The stag lowered its head. "Long ago, the stars and the earth shared one heart. A piece of that heart was given to your bloodline for safekeeping. Your mother carried it. When she died, the piece began to dim. Now the darkness between the stars grows hungry. If the light fades completely, night will become endless, and the world will forget how to dream." Alara touched the silver pendant at her throat. It had always felt warm against her skin. "Is this it?" "Yes, but it is incomplete. To restore the balance, you must carry the pendant to the Mirror Lake at the heart of these woods and speak the true name of the darkness that follows you." "What darkness?" The stag's eyes glowed. "The fear that has lived in your father's heart since your mother left. The same fear that lives in you, the fear of being left alone." Before Alara could ask more, the trees around the clearing began to groan. A cold wind swept through, and the glowing flowers flickered. Something vast and formless was approaching, a shadow that swallowed the light wherever it touched. "Go," the stag urged. "I will hold it back as long as I can." Alara ran. The woods grew darker and wilder. Roots tried to trip her. Branches clawed at her cloak. Behind her she heard the stag's mighty roar and the shriek of something that had never known kindness. She did not look back. At last the trees opened onto a wide, still lake that reflected the sky so perfectly it was hard to tell where water ended and heaven began. In the center of the lake rose a small island of smooth white stone. There was no boat. Elara stepped to the water's edge. The surface was like glass. She took a deep breath, clutched the pendant, and stepped forward. The water held her weight. With each step, the lake glowed brighter beneath her feet. When she reached the island, she placed the pendant on the highest stone. The starlight feather she had taken from the clearing appeared in her other hand, though she did not remember putting it there. The shadow arrived at the shore. It had no face, only a vast emptiness that pulled at everything warm and living. Elara felt its cold reach for her heart, the same cold she had felt the night her mother died, the same cold that lived in the quiet halls of the castle. The shadow spoke without words. You are alone. You will always be alone. Give me the light and the loneliness will end. Elara's hands shook. For a moment she almost believed it. Then she remembered her mother's voice, soft and sure. The stars are never alone, my little one. Neither are you. Elara lifted her face to the sky and spoke the true name of the darkness. You are grief, she said clearly, and you are not stronger than love. The pendant blazed with blue-white fire. The starlight feather melted into pure radiance and sank into the stone. A great wave of light exploded outward across the lake, racing through the woods, climbing the mountains, and rising into the sky itself. The shadow screamed, a sound like winter wind through broken glass, and shattered into 1,000 harmless sparks that drifted upward and became new stars. When the light faded, the heart of the heavens shone brighter than it had in 100 years. The whispering woods exhaled, as if waking from a long nightmare. The stag appeared at the water's edge, its antlers gleaming. You have done what was needed, it said. The balance is restored. For now. But the work of keeping light alive is never finished. Return home, princess. Your people will need the girl who speaks to stars. Elara bowed. When she looked up again, the stag was gone. The journey home felt shorter. The woods parted for her like old friends. By the time she reached the castle gates, dawn was painting the towers gold. The guards stared in wonder as she walked past them, her cloak torn, her face glowing with quiet strength. King Aldrich met her in the great hall. For a long moment he simply looked at his daughter, really looked, as if seeing her for the first time. You went, he said. I had to. He stepped forward and, for the first time in years, wrapped his arms around her. I was so afraid of losing you the way I lost her, he whispered. I tried to keep the world small and safe. I see now that safety without courage is just another kind of darkness. Elara held him tightly. We don't have to be afraid alone anymore. From that day forward, the kingdom changed. The king ordered the tower windows unlocked. Every night Elara climbed the stairs and spoke with the stars, and sometimes her father climbed with her. The people of the kingdom began to leave small lanterns on their windowsills, remembering that light is something to be shared. And far above, the heart of the heavens burned steady and bright, watching over a princess who had learned that even the deepest night can be answered by a single brave voice. The end. Would you like another princess story? Maybe longer, shorter, scarier, or funnier? Just tell me.